I'd say good morning, but I think it's just about afternoon now. I am so excited to be here for a proper Sunday Funday, which we have not had in a few months because life has been kind of crazy. I don't know about for everybody else, but I think we've all been a little busy. So I'm really glad to be here. I'm really glad to be here now with all of you and this incredible table full of players, which we're going to go around and meet here in a second. We're going to be playing a fun little game called Breakfast Cult, which is an indie game based on Fate Accelerated. And that's about all she wrote. Let's go around and meet some of these people you already know, but we're going to start with somebody maybe we don't know. Party Wipe Games, I am so excited to have you here. Thank you for coming and sharing Sunday with us.
Hey guys, happy to be here. I'm from Party Wipe Games. You can call me Rin or Rindis. I am usually on my own channel or doing a lot more on Encounter Roleplay. You can find me there, hopefully more soon to come. And I am very excited to be here. Very happy to have a chance to play this and looking forward to all the fun shenanigans we'll get up to.
There will be some. Do not fret. Do not fret. Well, I'm glad to have you here. And a face that we've not seen maybe in a while, but that is not new. How are you, Catherine? I'm glad to see you're surviving.
Yes, I am. Yes, my name's Catherine Barsonistas, also known as the Gluttonous Geek. I run that nerdy food blog that happens to show up on here every once in a while, whether it's a witch or a very squirrely Viking, or
Karen.
or Karen, the Karen. It's really nice to be back on here. I've missed gaming, and yeah, just, gonna survive.
Gotta survive.
Yes.
That is the...
No matter what that happens to mean entirely. Well, this isn't a cult high school, so we'll see.
Yeah, right, yeah. It's true. Level of survival. Have you played this game before with me? I feel like you have.
No.
No, you haven't played this
I
one?
have not.
We've played a lot of games together,
no
so I
idea
never
how to
know.
play this. Yeah, I was
Even
up
better.
until the last minute trying to finish this character sheet up.
Even
so I'm going, oh,
better.
oh God.
Even better. We'll have to do we'll do
Yeah.
a proper Breakfast Club 80s montage intro where you can all tell us about your characters, but I'm really glad to have you back. Thanks for being
Yay.
here.
Thanks for having me.
And another face that we love to see on Sunday Funday, and really I just like to see in general. Origami Shuriken, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm excited to be back. My name is Alyssa. You can find me at Origami Shuriken on Twitch and Twitter. I play games, I run games, I do crafty stuff, and I am excited to try a new game today. I
Yeah.
haven't played it, but I have watched it on many Sunday Fundays, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's always this game always brings out really odd situations. It's funny what happens when you tell adults to play teenagers.
Should be fun.
It should be fun. It should be fun. Speaking of adult teenagers, hi Gnome.
Oh God, wow, okay.
I love you. I'm just kidding.
Damn. Well done, thank you. I know, I'm the youngest one here, obviously. I'm definitely not older than you, Dot, at all. Maybe? Actually, I don't remember. Hi, I'm Nob. I'm happy and excited to be here. I don't know what I'm doing because I've never heard of this game and I've never played Fate.
Blasphemy.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does. So I'm gonna just randomly click buttons, say some things, and hope for the best.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's just detention.
Right, just attention.
It's just detention. And again, somebody that I want to give a super shout out to because this wonderful human is helping make Sunday Fundays possible right now. With my crazy busy schedule, sometimes a girl just needs some help. And what better place to find it than your best friend? So, hi, Eris.
Stop it, Dad! Hi! Hi, I'm Eris Samad. You can find me on the internet I am currently going to be playing Marnie, who is she's a bit of a hazard.
Ooh.
She's a punk ass with electrokinetic powers. It's fine. She hates detention.
Do you come often to detention?
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of like a ritual at this point. Harold saves her a seat.
So, they are all, in fact, at detention, but you have to understand that the high school that this group of teens attends is not your average high school. This high school is known as a Kultar Academy. A Kultar Academy is an isolated, tip-top of the line high school where the world's occult sensitive teens are sent to study in secret, basically. On this island, there is some civilization. There's a small town nearby, but all in all, everything that you need is paid for and taken care of. Now, many of the students whisper rumors about who really runs this academy and why keeping these abilities under check and quiet is so important. But some are simply here just to make their powers stronger. Some maybe are here on a scholarship. Oh, hot dog fingers. Who knows? But as our camera pans in, we see... Oh, first donation. All right. I see what you're doing out there, chat. You know what? I didn't go over that, did I? If you donate today... I see what you did. I do. If you donate today, there are ways you can affect this game. Like by filling that bar. It looks like we're about 25 short of having another goal met every $50. When that happens, everybody at this table will get a fate point. I might, depending on where we're at in our little story, decide that something more interesting deserves to happen. But for now, you have to know that fate points are very, very necessary in this game. They are what activate and make things both easier and harder for your enemies, which I imagine you'll have so many of. But our camera pans in across the lawn of a Kultar Academy. Perfectly groomed, beautiful green grass. The building itself is rather modern, but looks like an academy. There are the dorms where all of you are housed, and all in all, it's rather quiet, except for the beautiful fountain out front. Because it's Sunday. And everybody else is out having fun. You maybe can hear them over the kind of grassy knoll down near the student dorms and maybe even into town. But instead, we're met by the deafening sound of a library, an empty one. The handwritten sign on the door reads, "Detention." And as the door swings open, we see 5 individuals sitting kind of a group tabled area inside of this occult kind of high functioning library. Lots of computers and technology and, an automated card cataloging system, all kinds of stuff. But it's just the 5 of you. And, of course, the headmistress, as she walks in and looks at all of you. The first camera pans in on Marnie Gibson, because Marnie knows detention so well. Marnie, tell us what you look like sitting here in your regular seat on a Sunday for detention.
Yeah, so Marnie's probably just kind of like relaxing in the back of the chair. She probably has her knees up on the table, twisting the cap of a pen. She has long curly brown hair, a black beanie, dark makeup, very punk aesthetic. Her messenger bag full of pins is sitting next to her on the floor. And she looks really bored. But as she glances around the room, you can see that her eyes actually look like those, what are they called? keep forgetting it. Those
Ooh, now I'm invested.
plasma
What is
orbs.
it? Oh, okay.
Plasma orbs.
Cool.
Every once in a while, from the pupil, a spark goes out towards the edge of the iris.
Nice. That's very cool. And I imagine maybe it sparks a little bit as the headmistress eyeballs you, of course, being her regular student of detention.
Yeah, as we catch eyes, a couple more sparks come out. She's not her favorite person. She's currently wearing a bright red badge, though, that says electrocution hazard.
So punk. And the headmistress turns and pans to a different table, coming in on Harold Hot Dog Fingers.
Say it again, Dot.
Harold Hot Dog Fingers. And I think that the headmistress probably says, Harold Hot Dog Fingers. I'm rather disappointed to see one of our varsity sitting at one of these tables. What does Harold look like?
Harold barely sits at the table. He is a solid tower, about 6'2", 250 plus pounds. Very like rotund, so it's just like big dude, little chair.
Yeah.
And he's got super rosy cheeks, very clean cut, almost like shaved head, and little beady brown eyes. And he looks very sweet and endearing for somebody so gigantic. And he just kind of he's wearing like a typical like practice setup, so like, you know, like the typical baseball, you know, ringer tee, and he's got like track sweats on. He's got like sneakers. His cleats are like hanging off of like the back of the chair. His backpack's got like a baseball bat and his, you know, mitt inside.
And would you, and I'm gonna have Eris do this too, would you read your high concept to us, just so that we know?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, let me move it over here so I can read all in one. Okay, so Harold Hot Dog Fingers is a big, dense baseball jock with a soft spot of interdimensional beasts. Yes, he plays baseball.
Eris, I gotta know Marnie's high concept as well.
Rebellious rocker with a heart of gold.
A rebellious rocker with a heart of gold. That's good. That's good.
She was labeled a hazard, so she leans into it.
Okay. All right. Well, as the headmistress looks at the kind of rotund and somewhat sweet face of Harold Hot Dog Fingers, she's met next by Grace Pinta. Grace, what do you look like here in detention? And what is your high concept?
You know, Grace has, you know, the whitest white skin. She doesn't even have to wear foundation. She's got black lipstick, you know, black glasses. Her hair is black, but it's got kind of a gloss of like purples and blues, like an oil slick.
Yeah.
And you know, the black choker. She's got like a cardigan tied around her waist, and she's got brown eyes. And she is the pensive pyromancer, because you know it's always the quiet ones.
Y'all, we have so much elemental energy in this group. A pyromancer. This is not gonna bode well for us. And she knows. I bet you... We'll find out what you did to actually get in detention, but I have a feeling I know what it is. And I have a feeling that the headmistress also knows what it is. And she kind of glares at you a little bit. Her eyes may even cut to a fire hydrant on the wall to see just how close it is. Next, Nora. Nora, the headmistress, comes over and she may even run a finger down your table and trying to be a little bit intimidating as she glares at you. What does Nora look like?
Nora has very strong Eastern European-looking features, which are mostly hidden by a giant pair of round-rimmed glasses. And the best way to describe her fashion sense is cottagecore. So we're talking covered in kind of folksy layers on layers of soft fabrics and whatnot. And she looks, she kind of sits sort of shrinking, sort of unassuming, just kind of eyes sort of darting along her table, kind of fingers itching for a book in her hands.
Yeah.
But then as soon as she sees, well, the hand of the hand mistress cross across her table, her body language completely shifts. And she relaxes and looks up defiantly at the headmistress.
Ooh. She might even jerk her finger away just a little bit, knowing who she's now talking to. That's what I'll say. And the last table, kind of in these rows, sits Marcy. She's got to make a point, so the headmistress comes over now, having eyed all of you, and puts her hands on your table and leans in a little bit and looks at you real close. What does Marcy look like?
Marcy is a girl that stands out because her attire is very green. It's that kind of dark, slithering green, green blazer, skirt, tie, lipstick, nails. It really complements her green eyes and her dark skin and dark hair. When the headmistress looks at her, she just puts on a smile and probably turns her attention away from whatever she had been doodling in a sketchbook she had snuck in, very purposely trying to act innocent, knowing full well she may have been caught.
She looks at the sketchbook, and with her hand still on either side of your table, she says, well, as much as I'd like to say that today's torture was going to be simply writing an essay. And she kind of looks over at Marnie, knowing Marnie never writes the essays.
Marnie's actually secretly a really good student.
Yeah. And but she never writes her essays in detention, and she knows it. And she says, so today I thought maybe a little hard labor would do you all some good. She looks very pleased with herself. And she says, so, come with me. We're going out to the greenhouse. You'll be working with the herbology club today to clean up a new site for a tree they've been working on. Y'all know that nobody likes the herbology club. It's like 3 weirdos. They don't use computers or like sciencey tech. They're just kind of weird. And outcasts, I guess you could say.
Nora actually kind of straightens up a little bit and trying not to hide her excitement because while she's not entirely thrilled about seeing the weirdos, this would be, considering she lost a good number of her alchemical ingredients when she accidentally blew up that lab. She's looking forward to replenishing her supply, maybe on the sly if she possibly can.
Okay. You try to hide it. You probably do a pretty good job. She's, like I said, very caught up in being very excited that she's thought of this thing you have to do this Sunday. And she says, so leave your stuff and come on. And she, adjusts her perfect blazer. Now, you know that once you are put into detention, you become a watched individual here on campus. Problem students, especially problem students that know and have access to occult knowledge, they raise a lot of red flags. And you'll notice even though the halls themselves are empty, the cameras that line the hallway are very active today, and they follow all of you. As you have your first chance, the 5 of you kind of walking behind her to chat, if you would like. Does anybody say anything?
Marcy will probably take to the back of the line and just sidle up to whoever's next to her and just be like, herbology, really? We're going to be rifling around in the dirt all day? Why couldn't we just do the essay? That seemed so much easier.
What?
Tell
No
you
way,
what.
man. It's gonna be great. Just get a good workout in.
I suppose hard labor. Why are you even here, Harold? This is unlike you.
Well, I saw Marty was in detention, so I just wanted to say hi, and then I guess I had to stay. So.
Accidental detention.
The laugh is probably genuine too, and she's just like, you just chose to stay?
Well, I mean, yeah, what else am I gonna do?
Anything else?
Well, I had practice in the morning, so I already did that. Probably would have just gone to practice again, so
Do you want to take my detention then, and I can go home?
I already tried that. They won't let him substitute for me.
Well, worth a shot. Okay.
what did you do to get in here?
I was painting a mural, and apparently you need faculty permission to do that, and also approval of the type of painting and materials used.
What
And
were you
just
painting?
a very school appropriate rendition of you know what, let's just say the king in yellow in all white and the tasteful fanfic renditions therein of enthusiastic cultists.
Oh, so you were painting blasphemy then? Annie, shut up. Don't tell your grandmother to shut up. I mean, here it's because of your fault that we had to go shovel in the dirt like complete and utter peasants. But no, you just had to not trust me when I told you about those various different conversions on the last experiment. Granny, not now, Granny. What are you talking about? Why you hide yourself away like peasants? Why?
I'm dying.
I mean, this is meant. I've been in front of this woman many times. She is complete and utter pansy. But she, look,
Was that an herbology pun or?
This one is funny. Why don't you seek out this person? I mean, I don't need other people. Yes, you do. I mean, someday you're going to need assistance. What? No, just. Nora just kind of balls her fists up and shoves in her pockets and just walks ahead.
So, I have a question. Are you talking, obviously you're talking to yourself, are you talking outside your body, or are you possessing both personalities at the moment, for just everybody at home?
Both personalities.
That's what I thought. So your body's shifting, it's a Gollum situation at the moment.
Oh, yes.
Great.
And if you need a kind of a visual of what her granny's personality is like, picture Nadia from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes,
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, so the voices of this Russian, this Russian grandma ring out kind of obscurely, down the Transylvanian down the hallway of this empty academy, and all of you pass what you know, an auditorium, a cafeteria, the medical room, which has recently undergone extreme renovations. For those of you that saw the last one, it needed it. Then you know that the classroom building is kind of connected, and you You see room after room, the AV room, the teacher's lounge, so forth and so on. There is a clubhouse for the sports people. Sports. The sports people. You know that Dunwich Hall is the one of the student dorms. You know. And a gymnasium. And each of these locations have a series of aspects. These are the same kind of aspects that your character is built on. Just like every scene we go into may have a series of aspects that you can write or I can write to help or hinder. So we kind of watch all this pass by, and then it passes by some more. And then it passes by some more until now it's all behind you, and you're leaving the sounds of the students over on the green, and the school disappears over a hill as you see the greenhouse isolated near the edge of kind of the woods that separate the academy's grounds and the town proper. It's a little run down. It's not as taken care of, obviously, and only a well-beaten dirt path is really the only way you know even how to get out here. You can see some figures moving around on the opposite side of this beautiful green glass, but your headmistress puts a mom arm out and stops all of you. And she says, "There it is, the greenhouse. Go help or do whatever they need."
Why isn't it green?
It's not much of a house.
It's not either. It's a term to... It's an effect that happens inside of it for the... I'm not going to sit here and give you a biology lesson today. That is Tuesdays at 3 p.m. You all know this.
But, like, we're already here. Why don't you just teach us the biology of...
Because the rest of the class is not, Marnie. And not like you're going to listen anyways.
We can go get them. You want me to go get them? I'll go get them.
No, I want you to go down to the greenhouse. And I want you to help the herbology club dig a hole or whatever it is they're doing.
And what kind of teacher are you to deny knowledge from your students?
I'm not a teacher, I'm your headmaster!
Yes, mistress. Yes, his mistress. And just Nora just darts inside the greenhouse, just kind of fighting
And she
with
says,
herself.
I'm going to stand here and watch the 5 of you enter that building. Or else.
Marnie rolls her eyes and follows.
Or else what? You hear from inside the greenhouse.
And you,
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Has Nora ever given her grandmother's name? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure the headmistress knows, because this is not the first time Nora's been in detention for something her grandmother did. Though at this particular time, usually the headmistress knows to differentiate between the two, so she'll
But it's not common knowledge.
No,
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
Do we just call her Granny then?
Sure.
Does Nora accept Granny? I guess that's
She-
the real question.
Well, it's more of does Granny accept Granny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she respond to anybody talking to her besides like the headmistress?
Sometimes if they show the proper level of respect.
Okay.
So, yes, it depends on whether you've spoken to her or not before.
Marcy's gonna be right up beside Marnie and just be like, "So the headmistress is only watching us go inside the greenhouse."
Yeah, once we get in there, we can just do whatever. It's fine.
But she's not gonna supervise and make sure we stay here.
I mean, they have ways of watching us, but what is she gonna do?
I'll be keeping an eye out for an opportunity then.
Hey, you and me both.
Then she'll just keep going.
Eventually, I'd say the headmistress becomes satisfied as all of you kind of reach the front door, and she turns and then she looks back real quick, right, to double check on all of you. And then she turns around again and you see her body kind of disappear over the green as she heads back to her office, leaving the 5 of you right at the door. Does anybody open it? Door's the greatest puzzle of all tabletop RPGs.
Even the
I don't
silence.
think anybody actually wants to go in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Given the silence, I think Marcy will
Like,
step
nah.
up.
Marcy steps up and maybe you just go to push it because it's just like a, like a basic latch door. Like there's nothing special about it. But as you go to push it open, it thuds against something as if the door has been, something's been placed there or it's been barricaded in some way. It only cracks open about, a couple inches and gunks into something very hard.
Oh, well, I guess we can't get in there. Let's go somewhere else.
Hello? So just kind of peek past the crack and try and take a look what might be there.
What might be there? Okay. You kind of look in, Alright, we'll get a roll from you. Let's do an actual roll, because your eyes basically right now aren't seeing a whole lot of anything. But that doesn't mean that there's not something there. So, here's how this works, everybody. I need to dish out an extra fate point to everyone. I'll do that. I'm sorry, that was my fault. So everybody's starting with 3 fate points. What does that mean? Well, these are points that they can cash into re-roll to add to a roll that goes poorly. And in Fate, we use something called fudge die. They're not numbered. They have pluses and minuses and blanks on them. It's really wonderful. And you simply do basic math and add them together. So, I think in this case, this is going to be... How clever are you? How clever are you? So I'm gonna get a clever roll from you just to see if you see anything abnormal. Okay, your grade on this report card was a 2, which is actually not too bad. That's considered normal. You look around, you don't see anything, but there's an odd smell in the air. Maybe it's just a mixture of all of these plants and things that are growing in here. And you can feel it's an active greenhouse. But you don't hear anyone. You just kind of get this weird smell that you cannot quite identify.
That's not manure. Hey, there's something blocking the door. Harry, you want to give it the old goat ram?
Yes.
Yeah. I could do that. Goats! Ah! And he just runs and charges at the door.
Okay.
Because that's the call. That's the cry of the
It is.
goats.
It's just
screaming.
Screaming goat.
Because that's what goats do. Yeah.
It's the bleat.
Yeah, they call it the Great Bleat.
I hope I clicked there. I'm so sorry.
we bleat, they bleat onto the field, and this is how they do it, by yelling goat. And so you watch Harold, like, ooh, build up that energy. This is going to be, forceful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Roll a forceful check. Maybe? Oh, Harold. With a 4. You have done the goat bleat so many times in your... And like a champ, headbutts this door open. What actually happens is the door breaks off the hinges and falls in, and you see what was blocking it is a massive vine. It's like about this big around, and kind of is growing past the door.
Harold,
yeah.
That's how you use your head.
Yeah. Coach said I should have played football.
Baseball's better.
Totally.
You're a natural, Harold. Good job.
From around the corner, you hear the patter of feet. Let me pull this up because, y'all, this PC makes me happy. And I don't want to miss any opportunity to show this to you. Here he is. Okay. You see a rather tan, handsome-looking fellow round the corner. His shirt is open, plaid, rolled up tightly around his muscles. I know, right? Let's just stop and talk about Maynard here. He's got freckles and golden blonde hair. He smells of dirt and sweat. He's probably 16 or 17, and he carries a sack over his shoulder, but is bustling around the corner to see what all of the noise is about. And he goes, "What? Hey now! What's going on here? You can't just start busting down people's doors. Was you raised in a barn?"
Harold's eating granola right now, and yeah, dude, you're like, you dropped something in front of the door. It's like a kind of a fire hazard.
Oh, let me show everybody his picture. Oh, he goes, "I didn't drop nothing. That's our project you just barreled over."
Maybe
Then what is it
project
doing
should
in
be-
front of door?
Well, it's growing. There he is.
So, didn't the headmistress want us to move something for the gardening club?
Oh, you're detentionees.
This was the door that she instructed us to go through.
He goes, "Woo! Well," he kind of wipes some sweat off of his brow and slings it to the side and sits this sack down on the ground. He's a rather charming fellow. I'm gonna be honest with everybody. No, I guess he's not. I guess he's really not. I just think he is.
We love this guy. Like,
he can be
total
charming if you
project.
want
Oh,
him.
He could be, I was about to say,
He's
I
lying.
want him to be charmy.
There's nothing that
Charmy
is
and
more
dirty.
charming about him than his beautiful farmer's tan. Can we just talk about that?
We
Because
talk
he
about
was
it.
describing it. And
I'll show here, everybody at home. There's a picture of Maynard. Clayhorn is his name. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a granola bar and begins munching away, Harold, in very like-minded way. Look at that very, very defined tan line. I'm sorry. And he goes,
He
"Well,
wears his shirt open.
just
How
so
did he get that?
I didn't want to say it.
Tan?
It's like,
No,
excuse me, that's a wife beater tank top tan.
that's
Yeah.
that
That's
is
what that tan line is.
but his
magic
shirt
tan.
is always open. How did it fall?
Y'all, you know that is what's known as magic tan.
Magitan.
You see,
Magitan.
Nora, you could give me some beautiful great grandchildren if you just started talking to some boy.
Oh,
If she doesn't want to, I volunteer.
I don't understand what's happening. He just kind of
My
looks at all
friends
of you.
think you're cute. I think that's it.
Oh, I get that sometimes. But I'm in a monogamous relationship with a tree.
Congratulations.
Oh.
That was an unexpected twist.
He goes, "Well, what can you expect?" And he like finishes off this granola bar and recycles. He recycles his wrapper and pulls out another granola bar and begins munching again. Would any of you say that you are kind of up in the know of school gossip?
I could probably swing it. My student is Everybody Likes Marcy.
Okay. Then you might have spoken to Maynard Clayhorn before. He definitely has a different track than you. But you would know that Maynard is, it's said that his metabolism runs a bit high. He actually has to eat piles and piles of food, because, he can polymorph his body a little bit like Stretch Armstrong. Yeah. You would also know that he was just a pure yokel. And it's rumored that the reason he gained his powers is because he ate something he found near a research laboratory. He just ate it off the ground.
Checks out.
Relationship with a tree? Well, that would explain. You're the reason for my great-great-great-great-granddaughter's allergies.
He goes, well, I don't know nothing about no allergies. I just know, we've been working on this tree. At least it feels like I'm in a relationship with it. I ain't spent more time with nothing else but my mama before, so...
Don't worry,
I didn't want
Maynard.
to know about that.
Don't worry, Maynard. We're all a bit sappy for a good love story.
He goes, well, I guess you can go around that side there and grab yourselves a shovel. We're digging holes out back. We gotta make more room for them roots that's coming through.
Okay. Shovels.
But yeah, just around the side over there, and he kind of points to the like opposite side of the greenhouse, where there might actually be a small shed or something that you didn't notice before. I just want you to know his talent is called Hungry Hungry Polymorph. I'm sorry that.
What is this game?
I love it so much. This is great.
That's it. That's all she wrote, and all of you are able to, if you would like to go grab a shovel, you can, but he says, I'll meet you round back with everybody else. It'll be great. I love digging holes.
You do? Well, Maynard, if you don't mind, I tend to work more as an administrative role, and maybe if you enjoy digging, I can help supervise it. You can do the digging for me. Marcy has a stunt that I want to try to get out of doing digging.
Okay.
It's called Marcy's Coil. Once per scene, when Marcy creates an advantage by convincing another student to do something for her, I can stack a free invoke. So can I try and talk him into doing the work for me?
All right, so this is how this works. First, you got to make the roll, and then you can use the stunt, basically, in addition to it. So Can
I hope to talk him into doing it for me, then?
Yeah! This is going to be a flashy roll. It's a bit flashy, unless it says to use something else. And he doesn't get to really roll against this. It's not kind of how fate works. What you're doing instead is you're building up an advantage against him to use basically at a later time. So, here's what you do. Let's get the roll first, because you may still encourage him to do it, and then you'll get the advantage as well.
4.
A 4. I don't think that he can beat that. So he looks at you, and you're just so innocent, Marcy, and so good-natured, and everybody likes you, and he goes, you know what? You're right, Marcy. Marcy, what did you do to get into detention? Is it well known?
Yeah, everybody probably knows about the artwork she did.
Okay.
It was very likely in the main hall.
Okay. He goes, you know, Marcy, I like you. It's not really my way of doing things, you know, graffitiing and all that, but I thought your painting was pretty funny.
Well, thank you. I could help decorate this area for you, make it look really nice for your
You'd
tree.
make our greenhouse look nice for the tree?
Yeah, I wouldn't want your tree food to be living living in squalor.
He goes, well, now, I bet you everybody else would like that a lot. Look, let me take that shovel for you, and I'm going to go around here and start digging holes, but the rest of you, only got 2 hands.
You're the best, Maynard.
And he kind of walks around the corner, leaving all of you standing there. Now, what you have done is created an advantage for yourself to kind of use at a different time. You get what is known as an invoke, a free invoke on him. And I'm going to write this invoke out right now because it's on Maynard. A Y-N-A-R-D? Yes. What are we going to call this invoke? Because it's just basically like an aspect. And what's going to happen is later on, if you want to get the leg up on Maynard, you can basically freely activate this to get that leg up. What do we call this? We'll call this one, what do I want to call this one? We'll call it Bag of Laughs.
I like it.
You made him laugh, so you got a way, I guess you could say, with him. I was gonna make it bigger so that everybody can see it, because Lord knows my eyes can't see that. Anybody else? There we go. So this is an invoke that you can use at any point. And you can hear the sound of 2 shovels. He uses both hands. He's muscly and has a strange tan we all don't understand.
Harold's gonna kind of like toss a shovel over to Marty, knowing that she better catch it or she's gonna drop on the ground. I don't think we can get to that point. Marty.
I'll try to grab it.
Alright, and then he's gonna go and hand one over to Grace. Here you go.
Harpalimus sees the clay.
That actually makes me wonder what are the shovels made from?
That's a really good question. Probably pure iron. They're very heavy. They seem to be a little old, and you can see that there's an odd kind of wearing around the edge of them, like an erosion.
So, we gotta go dig some holes, or, not?
Harold, do you want to dig mine?
I mean, I've got 2 hands, so sure.
Well,
With both arms out, you know.
yeah, and
Keep
you're
it even.
a lot stronger than Maynard, so you could probably, you know what? I bet you can raise them, so you could do them faster.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah, probably.
You go ahead. I'll be right there.
Alright. Hey, Maynard! Bro! Bro! Hey! Race me, bro!
You round the corner. He's already shovel in both hands. He looks up and he goes, "You know, my mama always said that we should take our time with our work, Harold. Work is a joy."
Yeah, and I could do it more joyfully faster.
He goes, "All right." He what? Okay, and then he starts digging really fast. We'll have a roll off here. He's also gonna roll a forceful. It's a forceful against a forceful. Let's see how this goes. He doesn't have any extra bonuses.
So how do notable abilities work? Because I have because I am big and strong, I get a +2 when forcefully overcoming physical challenges.
Okay, so what you would do is you are spending a fate point to activate your stunt, which is what that is. That's like a
do I want to do that? I don't
That's
wanna
up
do
to you.
that.
You can also choose to do it after the roll. That's one of the cool things about fate. You can like roll and you may succeed without the need for the stunt.
Oh, cool. Okay. I mean, yeah. We'll just roll that. We'll do that.
Let's get that force. Yeah, see, you didn't even need it. Maybe it's because you got a head start. At least that's what Maynard's gonna tell himself. But you you just start digging, and eventually Harold goes, "Hey, you're gonna want to slow down. That we don't want to go too deep. Hey, stop it! Stop! Don't!" And Harold, you hit something kind of hard. When you, not hard like cement, hard like a tree trunk or roots of some kind. And as you pull the shovel back, you see that the blade of it has cut into a very deep, dense root of maybe this tree they keep talking about.
Uh-oh.
And as you pull it out, it begins to ooze. A sickly, black, viscous.
As he was doing that, Marty kind of sidled up next to Grace and said, "Hey, I bet you we can get them to do all the holes and not have to dig anything."
From the looks of it, we probably could. And they enjoy it.
They're having a blast.
And you can see them like shoveling dirt. It's like going everywhere. They're getting very dirty and sweaty. The sweatier they get, the more the dirt sticks to them. But you finally do see Maynard stop. And he looks at Harold. As Harold pulls the shovel out of whatever he hit, Maynard goes, "I have to go."
What? Why?
Y'all just stay here, okay? Okay, don't go anywhere. And Harold kind of like totally Simpson style like disappears into a hedge.
Just right into the bush.
Just right into a hedge. He leaves the two shovels behind and yeah. And the five of you are now standing there, and if you get any closer, you can see where they had been digging, and you can see where they had been digging prior, but Harold got a little excited, and dug a little too deep and hit something, and now this dense tree root is oozing this black viscous. It's beginning to kind of fill up this hole.
Hey,
Yeah,
Grace.
I hit a water slide.
Hey, Grace, sometimes fire can, like, cauterize stuff. Would that happen to the tree, do you think?
Or I'll just burn it.
We could do that too. If it burns, then it stops oozing, right?
Not so sure about that.
Nora is gonna try to take advantage of the situation, take advantage of the I want to say panic or distraction, and start kind of collecting samples where she like discreetly from around the greenhouse, and she's kind of eyeing. Well, or at least that's what she's been doing. So now she's kind of eyeing that tree sap.
All right, Nora, you okay, this is definitely going to be a roll as well, because I think this is going to be a clever roll for you, because you're assessing this situation. You hear them digging, you've been walking through the greenhouse assessing the plants, and then you hear this kind of uh-oh moment. So let's get it clever and see if you know some things. And I should turn the rolls back on.
Extra bonus? No.
Okay, nicely done.
Awesome.
A 3. First thing you notice is when you're inside that everything in this greenhouse has this like black dusting or like powder on it. Like you even rub your finger across it. It's just like you can feel it. It's like there's a layer over everything. As you come out the back of this greenhouse to where they've been digging holes, and you see this viscous, this black ooey gooiness, maybe it was a lesson that you had early on. You're not really into herbology, and that's not really your study, right?
She's kind of a alchemy occult historian.
Okay.
So she tries to translate the old ways into the new.
Okay. All right, Nora. You get this kind of strange feeling in the pit of your stomach. Maybe it's that light bulb going off. You know what to do when you get the plants for all the alchemy. You don't usually have to raise them and grow them yourselves, but the herbology club is relatively new. You know that it is actually run by one of the kind of wealthier students here at Occultar Academy. His name is, I'm going to show you him too. He's a little you can just look at him and be like, oh, here he is. His name is Dexter. Dexter Dass. Let me show that. There's old Dexter. I'm going to show everybody at home, too. Dexter is, some would call obsessive, but definitely brilliant. He's been to a slew of schools over the years, but some would call him eccentric. And they basically sent him here because he can't keep his shit on the down low. And,
I probably see him in the lab quite often.
Quite often. He's not a very friendly fellow, and he looks down on just about everybody. But he helped start this club, this herbology club. It's him, another gentleman known as Alec, and then, of course, our Evertan Maynard. But what really drops out the pit of your stomach is the fact that, one of the reasons that Dexter had to move from his last school is because he had a very bad experience in the lab. He was delving into some things that he should not have been, mostly around portals and ancient occult sciences. Some call it false idolizing, but that's at least what everybody said, is that he was sent here for false idols. And his plan failed at his last school. He didn't get to do whatever it was he was working on. They caught him, and he was sent here instead. That's kind of what you get from all of this. There's a possibility that maybe Alex, whatever it is, Alex is at it again.
So she just looks at the Drute, looks at them, and goes, so you know who's in charge of the herbology club, right? Do you know? It's Dexter.
Oh.
You guys know what happened with Dexter, right?
Oh, Dex, really?
Uh-huh.
Really not afraid of that guy.
Not a fan.
So I was just in the greenhouse and looking at other things, and there's this black stuff also on everything else on there, and you know that Maynard also said something about having a relationship with a tree. That sounds a lot like idols and stuff. Like having false idols. Like maybe they worship the tree.
Does anybody here have a specialization in knowledge of the occult or like occult ancient ones? Anybody? Alright, I'm gonna have to look at some character sheets.
And I've got kind of a cottagecore alchemy student of history, and
Okay.
see also there's not no such thing as a foreign language because she studies ancient history, but
Okay. We might
I don't
be
know
able
if
to do
that would
this from
fully
a
qualify.
if that would qualify. Yeah.
Uh,
What about yeah.
No, didn't you say Harold has an affinity with occult creatures or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's from the School of the Outer Sciences.
Okay. You are from the outer sciences.
Uh-huh. That's why he's at the school.
Okay. Who would have thought it would be old Harold?
Oh, shit.
Who thought it would be Harold? That as she's talking about this out loud, Harold, you know that one of the reasons why they call it the outer sciences is because they sit on the fringe, if that makes sense. And in terms of what and how things are done. As more research has been done on these occult magics that we don't understand, that are said to come from these ancient powers. When she says false idols, you realize that it's not just a false idol, not like something that a single item that you worship, but there are a large categorization of false idols, of these idols that are not ancient ones, that are just as powerful or seeking just as much power. And with them comes a series of creatures, beings. But as this black ooze is almost done filling up this hole, Harold, I'm going to have you roll a clever roll. I know this is not your strong suit. It's okay. But you're going to get a +1 because this is why you're here.
Okay.
So make sure to add a +1 die to it. Let's see. Look at Harold! Look at the big pants on Harold. So,
They're really big pants.
they're really big pants today. Harold, you realize that you're like, oh, plant, black stuff, false idol. You know that there is a false idol that doesn't get talked about very much called Axis Mundi. And the reason it's called a false idol is because it's not really an elder god or an ancient one at all. It is a being. It is a sentient, it is a plant-based life form. That's it, in a nutshell. It's another life form, a plant-based life form, and it has like a sentience and covers an entire planet. There are a lot of reasons why somebody might try to contact Axis Mundi, but more than likely Axis Mundi contacts you. Which means that this goop that is literally bubbling up and beginning to spill over this hole is probably directly connected to this false idol, Axis Mundi.
Hey, yo, so there's this thing, and I might have like an NDA to it, but I think it's like practice Gandhi, and
Definitely
it definitely doesn't need to be here. This is actually like really bad. This is bad.
Bad how?
Will fire kill it?
Will fire kill it? Does he know that? He probably doesn't know that in depth of how to.
You wouldn't know how to kill it. You don't, it's funny, like, they tell you, like, you don't really kill an ancient one. It's just like any mythology. You trick it but this is not an ancient one. This is a plant-based life form, and if Axis Mundi is here, it's very simple, because Axis Mundi's roots have burrowed through space and time, and found their way here, and they are looking to create a new hive mind by replacing everybody with pod people.
Cool. Super cool. That's max bet.
So, you would know at least it has to do with these roots, in some way, shape, or form. Other than that, there might be a way, but there's gonna have to be a portal. Because it's having to bridge space and time. Maybe that's even what the herbology class has been working on.
Oh, damn. Okay, so that's like, all right, so like this, I remember the class on this, because like, we had a really big game that day, and for sure they were talking about this like root system, right? And it actually kind of almost binds in between like both worlds, right? Like our world and then like other worlds, and like it's wild, and they're just really here. It's like I don't know what plant terms, a weed. It's like a weed. It's just gonna like come in and like replace all the good stuff with like really not good stuff. This is bad, guys.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm convinced.
I don't know what to do about it.
We could try
Do
the
we
fire.
want to try fire?
Yeah, let's try fire.
I love it. Marty's like, I've been telling you just to light the thing on fire.
Well, Harold is explaining all of this, Grace sort of gets kind of a blank look on her face, but it's not because she's not listening. It's because she's basically picturing, a magic circle in her mind and kind of drawing it out and getting ready to make some fire.
And we see this moment, and time almost slows down as you pull in, because fire is energy, which means it doesn't come from nowhere. You have to build that energy up, and it begins to build inside of you. So is the goal to light just the pit of black goo on fire?
That's not oil.
It's worth a shot.
I'm gonna start with that, and if I need to find something more flammable, or if I need to use my other power and cover that hole, well, we work on burning down the greenhouse. We'll deal with that later.
Okay. So we're going to get... I'm going to say this is rather flashy.
Alright.
Literally. Fire. Hopefully. So we'll get a flashy roll, and then we'll see. Remember, you always have ways to make the roll better. Okay, that's a 2. That will make fire happen. You make fire. If you would like to do anything extra, remember, you always can spend a fate point, add 2. Spend a fate point. I have the hiccups now, y'all. Spend a fate point, add 2, spend a fate point, re-roll, which I would say this is actually a pretty decent roll. You wouldn't need to re-roll. Or you can activate an asset, or say, I'm a so-and-so and so-and-so, so therefore I get a +2.
Well, my student aspect is art class arsonist. So...
You sure know how to set oily things on fire. Okay. You can spend a fate point and activate art class arsonist and make that a 4.
Okay.
We see what starts as a small fire burn very quickly into a much larger one. Does it burn? As you light the top of this on fire, you watch as this black ichor almost tries to, evade the fire on the surface, and it tries to get away, and it doesn't work entirely. In fact, you hear a slight as the plant sucks all that black ichor back into the, roots of the tree. It quickly dissipates out of the hole, leaving some of the grass and stuff burning around it. And you can see that you've burned the, root itself a little bit. It's charred in certain places. It curls around an edge. The black ichor, like a straw, gets sucked up in the direction under the greenhouse in the school.
Okay, that's weird. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I thought it would actually burn.
Went under the school. That's
It
concerning.
did technically burn a little bit, Grace. She's right. You did burn it. It just it fled.
I mean, I just thought it was just gonna burn and then just continue to burn, instead of
not
running
normal sap.
So, to clarify, the sap went
back into the big root that Harold smacked with the shovel and
Okay.
headed back to... you can tell that these roots run real deep, and you've only see a small portion of it. It went back
actually
the
away
direction...
from the tree.
It went, so far you don't see a tree.
Okay.
It's just roots and plants, and he dug deep and found a big root that he jabbed into. It filled up the hole, and then it drained that hole, sucked that black goo back down, and shot it basically down the vine towards the, like, under the greenhouse towards the school.
You know,
East.
Maynard said he was in a monogamous relationship with the tree, but I don't think the tree's in a monogamous relationship with him.
The tree sounds very polyamorous if it's making pod people.
Congratulations, Rin, you killed Dot. Well done.
That got me.
Well done.
That got me. I'm sorry.
Air 5.
Yes. Polyamorous. Says very good origami. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. But you're left kind of in this eerie, like, silence. There's a little bit of the charred black stuff that's left in the hole. You can dig some more and see if you can figure out where the vines are going, if you wanted to do it that way. You could also just go back to the school.
The holes are dug, right?
That was what you were kind of told. Granted, you've not met the entire herbology club, but...
It didn't say that how many holes we had to dig.
They just said they needed to dig holes. And you know what? We found the tree. So I'd say job done. Great job, Harold.
Good job,
Great
Harold.
job.
Should we touch base with the other herb kids or just
Cover
head?
these holes.
Because they could be pod people too. Like, we're all convinced Maynard's not really Maynard, right?
Wait, they could be pod people already?
I mean, he did just outwardly admit to being in love with a tree.
Yeah.
Did you see the way he like melted into that shrub though?
It's very pod person.
Melting into a shrub weirder than, like, what I just did?
Well, we know you.
I
can
mean,
do
that was like
That's
cool
normal.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Nobody ever talks about Maynard, shrubbing it.
Big pod person. Everybody just thinks he's like he's a yokel, he's just kind of weird.
It's fine. They all just think he's beating around the bush.
Fantastic. Just another high five.
I'm gonna turn this game around.
Yeah.
Well, who are we to then interfere with this budding relationship?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta branch out and try something new, but
I'm just gonna sit here and drink my coffee.
I mean, you see love blooming everywhere.
I can keep going.
So-
Do you want me to keep going?
So we're all in agreement. We're gonna make like a tree and get the hell out of here. Back to the school.
Yeah.
I don't think I understand this analogy.
Oh, that was a Back to the Future reference. Sorry.
I want to see, is there anybody here that's a curious little person?
Oh yes.
Are you, Marnie? Marnie, I'm going to tempt you. I'm going to give you a chance to accept a fate point in exchange for a little complication. Do you have, what's your troubled aspect, Marnie? Do you have one, or like, what are your aspects? Have anything about like curiosity or poking your nose where it don't belong or finding trouble?
Not necessarily. Well, her free aspect is usually quiet and observant, but will make a ruckus with no second thought. Also, under careful, I have 0. Marnie just kind of.
Okay.
What she wants.
Marnie, you are an observant teen. Probably how you've managed to get this far. I'm gonna offer you a fate point to give you the complication of you going to kind of peering around into the brush, just like deeper into the forest here, like kind of peering in to see if you see anything else.
Yeah. I'm too curious.
I know. The rest of the team begins maybe walking off back towards the school, and you just gotta know. You're an observant person, and nobody really... You know that maybe
that was
nobody
weird.
questioned that or looked... Yeah, and so you peel the bushes back, and you see the end of the root that heralds, like... And it's huge, and it's, like, jutting out of the ground in this kind of eerie, curled way. And it snaps... basically to attention and looks at you and rips itself kind of free of the ground and is going to reach for your ankle.
Seeing it move and come towards me, my eyes absolutely light up with electricity, and I will zap it.
All right, you're going to try to zap it. It's going to try to grab you. So, in this case, I'm just going to let you, I don't know, how do her powers manifest? Like, is it based on her emotions? Is it raw strength type, energy?
When she's calm, she can control it better. But if she's surprised or really upset, it's more likely to just kind of exude from her.
So I'm gonna say
once again, kind of like a plasma orb.
Yeah.
When she's calm and she tries to, she can direct it pretty well.
Then I'm going to say this is kind of quick. This is a quick reaction, if that makes sense. So we'll do this based on quick. Okay. So you roll. It's kind of almost a defense. So let me actually... I need to...
I can't use my zap then. It's fine.
Wait. You can't use a zap. Why?
Well, because I got my stunts. I have zap +1 to flashily attacking and creating advantage.
Okay, then all we need to do is have you roll it with flash. That's fine. Okay. So roll the flash first and see if we even need to activate the stunt. Because basically you'll just give up the fate point that you already have. So you rolled a 3. That'll do it without it. If you added the extra 2 by activating your stunt, it would be even flashier.
No, because I was just getting a fate point to do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna deal. Actually 2 to you, Eris, because I owe everybody 1 additional one. So actually, I don't even. Are you? Don't have the thing. Actually, let's just do this. All players included offline. Did I do it? There, I did it that time. Okay. When you do this, the electricity shoots out. It goes to dive for your foot, and you almost cut it off from, like, getting to you. And the electricity hits both the ground, and it sparks out, and it zaps the end of this branch, which goes rigid and it flops. And when it does, you're like, oh, okay. And then it retracts. It, like, pulls itself into the ground the way a turtle might into its shell. And as it does, it rustles the ground around you. You may even have to sidestep a little bit. It might even knock you over. As it begins almost like the way an ant would tunnel back. You can see it ripping up the ground as you turn around. And the 4 of you that were walking back finally realize that Marnie is not with you. And you realize this as the ground between all of you rumbles and then tears open with this root as it's like through the center of the like ground, and it's headed straight for the school.
Everybody, there's a thing.
Not on my watch. So I would like to use my rock solid stunt.
Nice.
To kind of defend with my earth.
Okay. Are you wanting to stop it, or are you just wanting to, like, keep your friend safe from it as it passes through?
I'll try to stop or deflect it if I can, but like my immediate concern is to protect the group that I'm with.
Okay. That is a stunt that you have. You'll need to spend a fate point to activate it. What is the roll associated with it? What skill is associated with that?
Forceful.
Forceful. Then let's get a forceful roll from you with the +2 if you spend the fate point.
All right.
I'm actually going to...
4.
Okay. Wow, these rolls are really good. Y'all are rolling really great today. Okay. As it begins to pass through, it basically is going to knock all of them over, and you can feel the earth moving. And you basically compact the earth around so that it doesn't break open and knock all of you to the side as it comes past. All of you feel kind of like the way a waterbed might like bloop, bloop, bloop under your feet a little bit as Grace like holds it in place, and then as soon as it gets outside the radius of this effect that you've kind of put on the earth, it continues ripping and tearing. It goes up and over the hill, you can see it, and then disappears back towards the school, leaving all of you once again in an eerie silence.
I start walking a little bit faster towards everybody else, but Arnie doesn't run.
Yeah, Marty, what did you do?
Well, you know, like, I just wanted to see if Maynard was still in that bush, but instead it was, like, the end of the route, and it tried to grab me, so I zapped it, and then it ran away.
I mean, so you like sure that we're not supposed to, I don't know, tell, like,
Hear me out here. What if the headmistress knew that this was happening and they were trying to get us into the pods too?
Whoa, what?
Are you saying the headmistress is a pod person? Because I'd totally believe that.
Yeah, that it seems like it's retreating to the school too.
There's
Like
no way
this
he
is
doesn't know
up Dex's
about it.
alley, but the fact that it's going into the school leads me to believe that he might be a pod too.
But like, hey, God, I got like a
Big brain
thought,
moment.
right?
Oh.
Yeah,
First one of the day?
yeah.
I'm proud of you.
It's gonna be a big one.
It's a big one. This is hard. How do we know that like you're not a pod person?
Well,
Am I a pod person?
Harold, it's very simple. If we were pod people, we wouldn't tell you that we're pod people. So the best way to know that I'm not a pod person is to just say that I'm not a pod person.
Oh, well, I'm not a pod person.
Yeah.
I'm totally a pod person.
Harold grips the like iron shovel that he's like kept it with him.
You know, if someone happened to replicate my granddaughter and me as a pod person, I would be very impressed.
Would that make 2 pod people for you, or would the
Like peas in a
pod
pod.
also have?
Two
Yeah.
Peas in a
peas
pod person.
Pod person.
Two
Like
peas
I
in a
said,
pod
I would be
person.
very impressed. I mean,
Disadvantage. You get disadvantage.
behold and bow to the double pod person. The pod person with a pod ghost person in their head.
Would be really
And
impressive.
therefore I am superior to all pod people. Granny, I don't really think this... Look, if you don't establish your dominance over these plebeians when you can, then you're not going to get anywhere in life. I just want to make herbal tea. Why do you want to make herbal tea when you could be in charge of all of Wallachia like I was when I was your age? Because I don't want that. Then you're not thinking hard enough to your bloodline. Guys, I'm not a pod person. I'm not. Or could she be? Granny.
I think you'd be too strong-willed to be a pod person, or the pod person would just melt themselves with Granny's influence to end it.
And I'm sorry, Grace. And you walk, literally following a path now. And as you get closer to the school, something happens. It should just continue, but instead it kind of arches to the left, which means that the path continues not to the school, but to the dormitories.
Uh-oh.
They better not be fucking with my bedroom.
I mean, you have to have people to make pods.
I've read some mangas that started like this.
Yeah, we all have, Marcy.
Wow. And I don't even know what to say to that. I will say this. You begin to notice that the root, as it, like, the ground where it's ripped up is deeper here. As if the root is deeper embedded. And as it pulls through, so the ground is not as ripped open. It's deeper inside the ground, but you can still see that, like, Bugs Bunny, tunneling.
Marnie's gonna go ahead and pull out the cell phone that she always has and just send a quick email to the headmistress. Be like, hey, there's this weird route. It's like going toward the dorms. You might want to check it out or something. That's it. She didn't sign it. It's an anonymous email.
Okay, you send an anonymous email to the headmistress, basically, that's just like, hey,
There's a route you might want to check out.
there's a problem, you're going to want to look into, and
something about pod people.
something about pod people. Signed, nobody.
Pod
And Grace, stop eating my cable. Let it go. She's just sitting here munching on my headphone cable. I'm going to add a new aspect. You did start this channeling, this tunneling. So I'm going to quickly add a new aspect. Now, this is not a person aspect. This is a scene aspect. And that aspect is a path to the tree. There's a very clear path that has been created towards the tree. So at any point, if you feel like that will benefit you or hinder somebody else, you can spend a fate point to activate that asset or aspect, just like you could activate yours. And sure enough, you follow it all the way to the back side of the dormitory building. Inside, you can hear the hustle and bustle of the students, but something, well, everybody can roll a clever if you want to. Everybody can. Let's see how clever you are. Okay. Oh. Okay.
You can have a negative in the game.
You can have a negative. Too many minuses and not enough pluses will make a negative. So let's just show everybody at home. So Nora got a 1. Grace got a 4. Harold got a 1. Marcy got a 1.
That's a -1. Harold got a negative.
-1. A -1. And then Marnie got a 3. So I'm going to say it is Marnie. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's definitely Marnie, Grace. Marnie and Grace are the only two that see this. Where the, I'm good, thank you. Where the, root has, like, met the building or seems to, like, be coming to a stop. The sprinkler system out back has sprung a leak. You can see water is, like, beginning to pool around where it kind of hit the edge of the building and definitely went deeper into the foundation of the dormitories. But there seems to be a water leak of some kind. They may have hit a main water pipe. Or worse. You can't tell from here.
How soggy is the ground?
It's pretty soggy, especially right here next to the building. You can tell that this leak is not fresh. It's been going on a while. It's a little, like, soggy-boggy around here.
Could be.
No,
watery.
don't do that. Okay.
Wait, hold on. What's the idea? Let's hear it.
Well, you know, electricity, water.
If there wasn't the risk of accidentally killing students, I'd be for it.
That's why I said, yeah, no. Okay. I didn't get this badge for no reason.
Grace, because you got the 4, you would also notice there's a cellar door at the opposite end of this building here out back that goes obviously into the, like, underbelly of this massive dormitory.
Hey, y'all. Down here.
It is locked up tight. And of course there's like a sign that says like janitorial staff only or like groundskeeper.
Yeah. They really
Kinda
don't want
locked.
anybody going in here, do they?
I mean, that really just says that we really need to go in there, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Has it got
Yeah.
one of those like fancy occult tech locks? Or is it?
This seems to be chains and a bolt, like a giant U-lock.
Cool. We want to get in, yeah?
Yeah, we need to get in.
All right. I'm gonna take the shovel, the iron shovel. I'm gonna put it in between the chains, right? And I'm gonna just crank it
Nice.
until it snaps on itself.
Make a force check with a +1 for using your sciencey smarts of a shovel as leverage.
Yeah, buddy. Science. Vaguely scientific.
Oh God! All right.
Oh.
All right. Now let's look at this. You got four negatives on this. Okay, so in Fate, you always roll a base pool of 4, even if you have no modifiers to add to it. Now, you added 4 to it, but unfortunately you rolled 4 negatives. And 4 plus -4 is 0. So you have a few choices. You could spend a fate point if you feel like there's an aspect that you have that would add a +2 to this roll. You can simply re-roll it by spending a fate point. Thanks, Super. Thanks, Super Maggot, for tuning in. Or, yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are really the 2 big things you can do. Or if you feel like there was a stunt that you might want to have activated that would add to it.
I do. I have a perfect stunt.
Okay.
I used it before because I'm
Great.
being strong. I get a +2 when forcefully overcoming physical challenge.
Okay, so you will spend that puts you down at 1 fate point now, right? Because you spent 2 this game.
I don't think I used it because I rolled and I got a 4. So
Oh, and you didn't need it. That's right, you didn't need
Yeah.
it. So now you spend 1 fate point, bringing you down to
Okay.
2. And that is going to up your roll to a 2, which is exactly what you needed to be able to kind of like crack this open. The chains, rusty in a few places, give pretty easily. So do the 2 metal handles attached to this very simple cellar door. And now it is very easily pried open. Nora, immediately, the same black powder, like dusting, is all in the air. You can see it.
You remember the stuff from the greenhouse, that powder stuff? You see it there? It's right there. Do you think that might have something to do with how pod people are made? Maybe breathing it in?
Might be a leftover residue as well, or
She just kind of takes her scarf and just starts wrapping it around her nose and mouth, and just kind of pulls off another one. Here, you need one.
Here, you need one. This is the
Yeah.
this is when everybody walks into 2020. No, so you can you can totally kind of bind up your faces, or I imagine if you play baseball, you at least have a bandana of some kind that's got the goat mascot on it. Maybe even when you put it over your face, you look like a billy goat from here down.
Yes, totally, absolutely.
Just
Yes.
Like
you
a
got
printed beard.
Yeah, you
and
have
stuff.
the goat tuff, and it just says, I don't know, what are they, bah, across it or something. Thank you, Super Megan. Also, everybody, you have only a few days left in September. There are many ways to support this channel, and subs are definitely one of them. So you can get your subscription, I believe, like $1 off or something this month. So if you haven't already, please consider becoming a subscriber. You get some sweet little emotes. Some of them are really cute. There's ships. There's y'alls. There's like a dot sipping tea, which is my favorite. So get on that. We see like
Ship, though, is the cutest. Sorry.
the ship is pretty cute. And you like we see you tie the bandana up. Everybody kind of covers their faces with what they have, whether it's like your jacket goes up high around your nose, or you have some kind of shawl or hat. But you all cover your faces as you dive into this cellar. The only light is the light from outside that's peering through this door and spilling light into a deep black space. The first thing that you notice is there is water at all of your feet. About an inch or so. You can just hear your feet splashing it as if there's been a leak and nobody has dealt with it. The next thing that you can tell is the atmosphere in here is very damp. Like a swamp or a rainforest. There's a lot of moisture in the air, which may be why all of these spores possibly are here. What do you all do?
Is there anything like other than that amiss in this room? Like,
How about we shed a little light on the subject? Anybody want to try to see if there's lights? Or make light?
I'm gonna use the flashlight on my phone.
Perfect. Yeah, you break out your phone. First off, you've received an email back.
Cool.
She has emailed you back. It simply says, I do not know who this is, but if it is who I think it is, then it sounds to me like you have some weeding to do in your detention. Period. Signed, Headmistress. And she didn't seem to take you very seriously, which is not a new thing for you. But you beep the light on, and as the light pans out, and you kind of look around, the first thing you notice is a stack of normal stuff, some tools, some things that the groundskeepers might use, some extra tubing and piping and blinds and things that might be used in the dormitories if something needs to be replaced. But around the ceiling and in every corner and crevy, there is black mold growing on everything.
Start taking pictures.
That's a health code violation.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
And all those get emailed to the person in charge of health code violations. Anonymously, of course.
Right?
So,
And we see it, the flash every time of the photo. And it lights up the space each and every time. And as Marnie pans around and gets to the far end of the room, something catches your eye. Now, this is a big building, so you're standing in one part of the basement. There's going to definitely be some extra rooms. But in the far corner, you see the water, tank that's used here for the students in this building. You see the vine that ripped itself out of the dirt through the wall. You see that it went through the water tank and down deeper in. But you can see the water tank has black mold all over it, growing all over it, like dense, furry black mold. There's a possibility that the water supply may be tainted. What better way to make pod people? Than say, I don't know.
never drinking water again, I guess.
Like, how are we gonna hydrate?
I guess you're just gonna have to dehydrate.
Oh, my muscles.
You know the cramps are coming, Harold. You're gonna need more water. Do you move forward? Do you try to kind of... You do have a path to the tree, or at least you think you do, so you can kind of see where it does lead deeper into the building.
Nora's gonna see if she can find the valve to shut the water off to the building from the water tank.
Okay. Very smart idea. Roll a clever. Nicely done. You know that it's going to have to be near this massive water tank, and so you do find the valve, and it takes you a second to like really get some gruff behind there. Maybe Grandma gives you a few words or something, but you begin turning this off, and you can see the pressure valve like to let you know. Nora, this was rather smart because this is attached to the sprinkler system.
Okay.
And you can tell that at least you've cut water. Maybe even hear a few people upstairs. Like, what happened to the water? You know, or like there's just like some commotion from the students upstairs that don't exactly know. You can kind of hear it through the floor. But that was a very smart move. Actually, it was so smart, I'm going to give you another aspect. There ain't no water. That's your new aspect that you can play on as we continue through the game.
And I think she's also going to see if she can scoop up a sample of the tainted water. So she, like, if she manages to find a lab later on, maybe she can figure out a way to counteract it or something.
You kind of scoop it up, and you may even hold it up to what little bit of light is in here and try to see it. The water does look very tainted. Based on your academic opinion, spores like this are this is a mixture of things that possibly the tree is letting off a certain amount of spores, and those spores are mixing with the dampness in here, and it's inevitably making some kind of, I don't even know what to call it. It's like it's like a mold. It's making a mold is what it's doing. The mold is a secondary like reaction to the spilling of the water and the spores that are floating in the air.
So I think that they may not have to possess the people as much for these pod people. They might actually be growing them.
So we burned down the whole dorm?
There's still people here.
Okay, so we pull the fire alarm and then burn down the whole dorm.
That could work.
Be a lot of detention.
It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, but like, isn't it kind of worth it?
We're already in detention.
They don't really have to
Yeah.
know it was us.
Right.
Fair.
I mean, they always know it's me.
Well, I mean, there are hot plates and everything in the dorm. You could just, like, burn some popcorn or something.
Electrical failure, yeah.
Whoa, like, what? Yo, okay, so, like, I mean...
Do you want me to set off the fire alarms or not?
Yeah, no, we need to
Yeah.
warn people for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
The sprinkler systems are kind of down, though, so we're going to have to find a good spot to set a fire to, you
Yeah,
know.
well, if the
I mean-
sprinkler system's down, then it burns better. I just
Yeah,
need to
but I
set
just
off the
want
alarm so that
to
everybody
make-
leaves.
Sure,
We don't-
everyone's out.
So Marnie, to pull the fire alarm, you're gonna have to go upstairs, which is you're totally allowed to do.
I don't have to pull the fire alarm.
You're gonna set a proper fire.
She's gonna short out the fire alarm.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna short it out and create the circuit. I don't even have to touch it.
The
Okay.
fire doesn't need to be there.
Okay. Where are you grounding yourself in all
fire
this
can
water?
start anywhere.
Or
Really.
better yet, I should say, where is everybody else grounding themselves as you use electricity in 2 inches of standing water?
Oh, first I No. Before I set the fire, I need to grab my important things for my room.
Everybody hold on to me.
Marnie, you need to grab important things from your room.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be up there anyways. You can still short circuit it from upstairs. The circuits run all throughout the building. Where you're at doesn't necessarily matter.
Exactly.
So Marnie runs
Y'all might
back.
want to get out of the place though if you're going to set the fire.
I mean, y'all don't even know what's down here. The rest of what's down here. You guys came in the first room. We're like, we're burning this building to the ground.
Teenagers, though, to be
Teenagers,
fair.
like,
Whatever horror is in the other room, we don't care. We do not care. Just gonna burn this building to
fire
the
will
ground.
take care of it, right? It takes care of everything.
Okay,
It's just...
so here's what I. So
Like
Marnie,
portals.
Marnie is definitely headed upstairs because that's the only place you're gonna get your things, and also you'll be able to set it off from there. I'm guessing Grace is gonna set this fire. That seems like a reasonable assumption. What is everybody else doing?
Probably could head upstairs and start looking around, because, yeah, fire is a good plan to solve this, but maybe there's more that can be seen. So, Marcy's going to go upstairs and start looking around.
Okay. Nice. So here's what I need. Marcy, I need from you, this is a clever check. Marnie, I need a sneaky check. Grace, I'm gonna leave. How do you want to start this fire? Because here's the thing. You can just start a regular old, like, fire to paper fire, like a basic pyro, or you can be an occult pyro and start it with your powers. I will leave that up to you. Harold and Nora, what are you doing?
I guess she's gonna try to quickly look around to see if there's anything else worth investigating. Like, see if there's not just, like, that's not just the center of everything.
Okay, that's smart. You brave up, Nora. You and Grandma go deeper. Maybe, does Harold go with you? When everybody departs to, like, go make this mission happen, does Harold go with Nora, or is Hera going with Marnie upstairs?
He'd probably go with Marnie. He kind of just tags along.
Okay,
So like more like a bodyguard type.
I also need you to roll sneaky. I know, you're a big boy, and you're trying to sneak around and mess up the fire alarm. Okay, so here's what we get. Marcy, on your 3 clever, the first thing you begin to notice is in the bathroom downstairs, anywhere that there's water in, like, the main bottom floor of the dormitory, there's a black mold that is beginning to grow in the grout out of the faucet. Something very minute that most people would not even notice. Which means that there may already be students infected. The next thing that you notice, you know what? You're a rather clever person. Maybe you get the grand idea to go check out the rooms. You end up upstairs in all the rooms, and you know that, in fact, 2 of the biology students live together. Not old Maynard. Maynard doesn't live with anybody else, but you know that Alec and, what was his name? Dexter live together. Alex and Dexter are roommates. And you creak open their bedroom door, which is unlocked, to find the same moisture. In their bed are 2 giant open pods. They are just like little pea pods, except the massive vine that connects to them as they're laid out on their bed goes into the wall and disappears, probably down into the basement. Nora, you do a little bit more investigating. You sneak around, looking in the basement. As you walk by yourself, it is really dark down here, and maybe you break out a cell phone or find a lantern, flashlight even, as you get to kind of the centralized area of the building. You see from the ceiling, actually from the plumbing itself, this is where the drip is actually coming from. The vines have infested all of the plumbing for this building, and out of the plumbing are a series of thick vines that attach themselves to a tree, I guess you could call it. It's more like a massive bush. And in the center of this bush is something you've probably never seen before, but only studied in other courses. There is a portal that manifests at the center of this black kind of, it reminds me, it's more like a tumbleweed. That's a better, there's like, wah, 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 from like Westerns.
Yeah.
Okay. It has no greenery on it. It doesn't have any like living stuff. It's just like these nasty branches that stem out from the center of it. And it's slowly just like growing. You can see it every once in a while as it continues. Down here, tending this bush, are 3 figures, one of which is Maynard. There are 2 others that, Nora, you would know to also be students. This is definitely Alec and Dexter. They are uninterested in you, or else they haven't noticed you. You're not sure.
All right, so these are definitely pod people.
They seem to possibly be pod people. But yeah. Marnie, Harold. It's not as easy with Harold with you, Marnie, but you've become used to it after a while. If nothing else, Harold makes for a great place to hide behind.
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm just sending him towards really either of our rooms because, I want to grab stuff because I don't want it to burn, and I'm sure he's got stuff he doesn't want burning.
Right.
So that's actually why we're going to the rooms, because I just don't want all my stuff to be destroyed.
So we go to Marnie's room. We see Marnie at the end of the hall. Maybe you both are like, okay, you got 2 minutes, go, right?
Yeah.
Marnie, you head off to go get your things. Harold, you're a popular kid. This is a weekend day. And there is a gaggle of, I call him a gaggle because I imagine that's how they walk together, at the end of the hallway that stand between you and your room. A few students, and as you go to walk past, one of the girls steps up and goes, "Oh, Harold, hi. I thought you were like doing something today or whatever. Isn't that what you told me?"
I mean, yeah, I'd practice,
She goes, "Yeah, I was hoping you'd be out there practicing today, but I didn't see you on the field." A couple other girls go like, "Yeah."
Oh, I mean, like, we were there in the morning, but, hey, you know what? I could go practice it a little bit if, like, all of y'all want to, like, go head out to the field now.
Oh my god, can I bring
now,
my
right?
camp? You're gonna do a special practice for us of baseball?
Yep, gonna hit some balls.
Ah! And one of the girls goes, "I love it when he says that."
Yeah, so, like, why don't you, like, get, like, all of your friends, right? We could, like, make it, like, a party thing.
Oh
Like,
my
just-
god, you're throwing a party
Yes.
on the baseball field? And she says it so loud. Marnie, at this point, you cannot deny the fact that somebody in the hallway just said, "Harold's throwing a party on the baseball field?"
Marnie's just shoving shit into a book bag like, "You talking, Harold?"
And a couple of the girls go, "Okay," and it's Tavleen, who is the journalist for the Arcane Gazette here at the school, who says, "Okay, everybody, we'll meet at 10 minutes on the baseball field. We'll watch the..."
This is when I kind of start focusing on the fire alarm nearby, just the connection, and I set it off.
Save me, Marty.
This is, you... I imagine there's that moment, and they are just all crowded around Harold. Marnie, this is the perfect distraction. Nobody will see you if you pull the fire alarm. Or you short it, whichever you prefer.
I'm gonna short it. Marty's not putting her fingerprints on things.
Maybe Marty's made that mistake before.
She has. She only makes that mistake like that once.
So we see Marnie very easily. It only takes a little bit of shock. It doesn't take a lot. No roll needed for this one, as you kind of
She's leaning up against the doorway of her dorm room, just watching that whole thing with a book bag on her shoulder and a messenger bag on the other. Just all of a sudden,
the lights also flicker. It's a giant electrical surge is really what it is. It sets a fire alarm off. It sets the carbon monoxide alarm off. The lights flicker on and off, and the camera cuts to Grace. You hear a lot of students now panicking. Oh my God, what is going on? Get out of the building! People are grabbing stuff and my thesis paper as everybody runs out, or is beginning to. Grace, the hallways are now pure chaos. What do you do?
Because I am an art student, in addition to studying the Five Rings, I know what sort of chemistry will make things go up real nice. So I'm gonna put some things together that should not be together, and I'm gonna leave them somewhere, and then I'm just gonna throw a little spark at them.
We watch Grace go room to room. You know these students, just like everybody else knows these students. And they're now evacuating the building, so nobody's there to stop you. Doors stand wide open, and we see you grab oil pastels, 35 millimeter film.
My own.
Yeah, exactly. Oil pastels, 35 millimeter film. Some old thesis papers that somebody dropped in a hallway. And we watch as you hold up one twisted piece of paper, and it goes up, and we watch slow motion as that piece of paper falls into the trash bin inside of the kitchen. This is a plastic trash bin, which means it's also going to go up, and we watch as Grace just uses her foot to move the bin just a little to the left, so it definitely catches the curtains on fire. And you're satisfied, Grace. The fire has been started. Marcy, also inside. Chaos has ensued. People are bustling about. If you peer out of one of the restrooms or wherever you're at downstairs, you think they've done the thing. Do you stay inside? What do you do? Oh, I think you muted yourself.
Myself.
Yeah, there you go. Now
I
you're
just mute myself. I thought I was muted and was trying to unmute, and I did it in reverse. Okay.
The amount of times I've done that.
Marcy would be hearing the alarms going off and having some confirmation that, in fact, it is pod people. She's going to head out and find Harold and Marnie and just be like, signs are pointing to the basement. I know things are going up, but if they've taken people, we should try and rescue them, right?
The building's like, boo! Boo! Boo!
And she's going to head for the stairs and go down.
And the building, actively on fire now. Your timeline is much shorter. The camera cuts to Nora, who is standing in the doorway staring at the tree, right? Now, Nora, what interests you the most is it does look like the two roommates, Alex and Dexter, are a bit pod people-y. Their eyes are very much glazed over. They never blink. They just clip. They do a thing here. They do a thing there. But Maynard doesn't seem as rigid. He still seems like Maynard.
Are they responding at all to the sound of the fire alarm? Or the sounds of chaos above?
Maynard does. He looks up and then looks at the two pod people, and the both of them open their mouths, say absolutely nothing, just let out this strange noise, and they nod to one another. But Harold, he goes, Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll fix it. I don't know. Just everybody stay here. And he turns to leave and sees you in the doorway, Nora. Nora? You're not, what are you, this is, this is a private meeting with the Herbology Club. You shouldn't be here.
I just wanted to find out what the... It's alright, honey. So, I see that you are, opening portal to, wherever?
Well, now, see, I didn't open no portal. That was Alec. I'm just here to tend to the tree.
I see. Switching accents by accident.
Yeah. He goes, I don't, he goes, I don't mean to do this to yous. And he reaches for a shovel. He goes, but nobody can find out about the tree. It's so beautiful. And he looks over and you can see there's an enamoredness. You're not sure why he's not been chosen to be a pod person yet. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a reason why they're hanging you don't know. You're really not sure. But the two pod people also pick up shovels right behind Maynard.
Okay. It's like, what can I do?
You're gonna get a chance to do whatever you want now. You get a turn.
All right. So, plants. I imagine that Nora would probably have some vials of something on her. Being an alchemy student. So, she is going to start pouring vials together.
Okay.
Into kind of a strange chemical Molotov cocktail.
Oh no.
Pitch it towards the tree portal thing.
Okay. Are you pitching it? You're trying to hit the center of the portal, or you want it to burn the tree itself?
I want it to go for the tree itself, especially since Maynard seems so enamored with it.
Oh no, this is good. Okay. This is going to be a forceful roll because you're throwing it. I'm going to say you do the alchemy, no problem. That's not something you struggle with, Nora. You know what's in your pockets. It's the throw. Yeah. It's the throw.
Oh, gosh.
Too bad you don't have a baseball player, a blaseball player.
She is not good at being forceful, but...
That's okay.
Okay.
Love this.
All right. I might have to invoke a stunt at some point.
Text me, Nora. Text me.
The burning's building. Just don't forget your friends are there. Okay. A -3. Now, you have a choice. You can always leave it. You can add +2 to that by spending a fate point and using an aspect, or you can spend a fate point and simply re-roll it.
I know she has a 0 for forceful, so it's probably not good to do that. So fate point probably to add you said +2?
It will add +2, making it a -1 instead.
Okay, and she's also going to invoke the stunt grant. Well, no, she can't do that because it's It's like, because my granny's ghost wants to help me, I get a +2 when I cleverly overcome obstacles when I let her take over.
So let's say Granny knows that you can't throw.
Okay.
So Granny takes over at the last moment before you throw. So that will basically spend the fate point to activate that stunt to add a +2, making it a -1. That's how it works. So unless... That's about all that you can do, unless you felt like there was a different aspect or stunt that you would spend another fate point on.
I mean, I don't suppose I can use my concept of wallflower with a ghostly stage grandmother.
Oh,
so
probably
I'm already kind of,
not.
but there's also cottagecore alchemy student of history.
Yeah, alright. Here's what happens. Grandma takes over, knowing you can't throw. Grandma throws. Now, it's still a grandma throw.
Yeah.
But it's something. And it's a -1. Your goal was to hit the tree. You don't hit the tree. You hit the 2 pod students. This alchemy open all over them. Like, it flies right past Maynard. He goes, as it speeds past him, right past the tree. Maybe it even passes between, like, a gap or something completely accidentally, and hits the ground near where the 2 students are, Alec and Dexter, or the pod versions of Alex and Dexter. Pollock and Pexter. And, Pexter's a bad name. Okay, so, they go up like old newspaper. They light up the room. Now, Nora, this is something that you did not see before. As they light up the room and they're going, ah! And they're like bumping into walls and into each other. You can see that Maynard begins to panic. He goes, no, whatever you do, don't touch the tree! Don't touch the tree! And he's kind of like running around like trying to stop them. What happens now just finished off our goal bar. Just in time for shenanigans here at the end. Thank you very much.
Okay. I love shenanigans.
They are running about, bumping into each other, and as they light up the room, Nora, you realize that kind of pinned to the wall are the actual students. Like, their actual bodies. These are just the grown potty versions of, like, they're the pod people. Their bodies are, like, stuck to the wall with this, like, black, icky, gooey, sicky grossness. They kind of hang there limply. You can see the actual Alex, the actual Dexter, along with a few other students. Most notably, this is what it's going to have to be, because of that bar being filled. Most notably, the school, paper editor, what was her name? That we just met.
Did she have a name?
She had a name. Tavleen. You see Tavleen's body, passed out, stuck to the wall, along with a couple of her friends, including, I don't know, Kaya, who's a bit of a prodigy child, and, I don't know. I've got all of these here. Oh yes, the C-pop sensation. The cult pop sensation, Fei Yu Gao, they're the coolest of the cool girls. They seem to also officially be pod people. You don't know where their pod bodies are, but you know that their actual bodies are posted on the wall down here. And the fire alarm is going off upstairs.
Is Maynard pretty darn distracted right now?
Maynard is trying to beat the fire out with his own shirt.
Okay.
His friends out. His friends are basically crispy little plants now. They're laying on the ground like,
Nora's going to text to the group, do not set the building on fire. The real people are down here.
The camera cuts upstairs. Marcy, Harold, Marnie, you're on the lawn. Grace probably joins you very there soon after. You can see in the kind of mess hall downstairs, there's a light flicker of where the flame has already started. All of your phones go off at the same time. Bing, 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 bing.
Arnie's fastest. She already texts back. Oops.
Oh crap.
I look at my problem. I look at the fire. I say, I got this. And I start walking back into the building, and you see, like, the anime magic circle start to appear around me. I'm gonna walk in, and this time I'm gonna conjure earth, and I'm gonna smother the fire, because we already wrecked the sprinkler system.
It's true, but, I'm gonna see if you want a complication, Grace. As much as you're capable of putting out your own fires, you are a pyromancer, and there's something about fire that's super beautiful. You can take a fate point if you find yourself too enamored to put this fire out. It's just
also an artist.
You are technically a seize the clay kind of lady.
Yeah.
And seizing the clay means sometimes you just gotta let that fire burn. Do you want the fate point?
True.
It's okay if you don't.
Well, I do also have this fire alarm ability. If you accept a compel that gets you in trouble for throwing fire techniques around, you get +1 to all quick actions for the rest of the scene instead
Okay.
of a fate point. So
That's the compel I'm offering you.
no, I'm gonna accept the compel, and I'm gonna try to quickly head downstairs to Nora and help rescue some people instead.
So Grace walks in the building and she's like, I got this, y'all. She quickly comes back out. Maybe she changed her mind because it's still smoking out of the kitchen window. But Grace, moving forward, you get a +1 on every quick action that you take from here out forward because you left the fire burning upstairs. And Grace maybe changes her mind. And do all of you follow Grace around to help Nora in the basement?
Yes. I'm gonna head down.
Off on the lawn, maybe as you cut around the side of the dorm, you can see a little figure. A woman in a suit. She's making her way across the lawn. There's a fire alarm going off. And all of you bolt into the basement to find Nora much deeper in than before. It's not as dark either. There is I'd say an active fire. There are 2 bodies on the ground that have kind of been singed. The fire's been put out by the standing water on the floor. You also see this kind of nasty, abstract bush. And in the center, this kind of portal that all of these branches are like stemming from. They're like coming out of the center of it. And there stands Maynard, beating his friends out, or his pod people out. And you can see the 5 bodies attached to the wall.
Sorry, we're all in middle school here.
Clearly we're all actual high schoolers.
Yes. We're not doing phrasing here.
No, we're definitely still doing
Definitely phrasing. And all of you see what
Harold-
Nora sees. What would you like to do?
We're gonna need a team lift.
Alright, I guess so.
Is the goal to save the 5 folk on the wall?
Yes. Let's save one.
Okay. Are each of you going to take one, or is this something you would all like to do together?
Probably take 2.
Okay. Harold's like, I got
Not
this.
strong.
Marnie will try.
Marcy will also try.
Okay. Marnie, Harold, and Marcy start by making rolls. And if you're going to be just doing this like straight up with your arm muscles, it will be a force roll because you're basically, this is like it's thick like a mucus of some kind, and you're kind of have to peel it away off of them to get them down. So it will be a force roll. If you feel that you have another way you would like to try to get them off, we can look at a different roll.
Is there anything around that it makes me think of like a spatula, so I can just like get under the mucus and like try to
And like pry them off?
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay.
Is there a giant
Because there's still
spatula? Hey,
there's still the
shovels.
shovels, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say jack of all trades, so that I can change one of my D or C rated, which would happen to be my forceful.
Perfect.
To give it a +2. So
Okay.
yeah, same idea. Just helping with the shovels to try and like.
I imagine both
pry.
Marnie and Marcy both reach for a shovel at the same time because you watch Harold using brute strength and you know that's not going to work. So Marcy, we'll start with yours. You're going to try to use a shovel to pry these people off. You're going to spend a fate point to activate that stunt, which will give you a. In this case, it switches it from. What did I say? Forceful to whatever skill is better for you.
It's gonna be flashy then,
Flashy.
and do it with some style.
And then Marnie, you're going to make a similar roll. It would still, in this case, be forceful, but I will also give you clever for thinking on your feet.
I would rather do clever.
Cool. You roll it with a clever then. Okay, so let's take a look here.
Perfect.
So Nora.
Oof.
Okay. Good news. Okay, so first thing we see is Harold's having no problem ripping them off the wall. The first one comes clean pretty easily. The second one, Harold also deftly rips free. That's 2 of 5. Then we get our Marcy roll with Flashy. Marcy, you actually use the shovel to like chip away at this goo so that they just fall free kind of naturally. A little bit more of a smarter way to use it. And Marnie, good news is a 1's all you need. The shovel, almost like a spatula, like under it, you can hear it scrape against the wall, and you begin pressing, and their bodies begin like, and finally 4 of the 5 are free. The last body on the wall is our darling, what was her name? I can't even remember. Valine? Was that what I called her? I think that's...
It is now.
It is what I called her now. It's what I called her now. Tavleen.
Right, because tabloid, yeah.
Yes, Tavleen. Tavleen Monroe. Tavleen Monroe is the last one on the wall. You can feel... Grace, you're super sensitive to fire. It's definitely spreading. Upstairs, the bottom floor is probably covered now, and you can begin to see the smoke. Even though it's rising, it still seeps through like the floorboards, right, of upstairs, and you can see it. It's getting hot above your heads. Who is getting the Tavleen down?
Yes. I mean, it's kind of
you don't, I'm going for it.
I need one more. I need one more roll. I need one more roll.
Everyone goes for her at the same time.
There you go. Take a 5.
Perfect. Yeah.
There you go, Harold.
You reach up. Tavleen is a petite lady, and you just like easily pry her nonchalantly off the wall. And you now have 5 bodies to move. The bush and portal is still there, and at this point, you can see. Oh, you can see old Maynard on his knees. He's hugging the bush. And he goes, "It's okay. No. And he's kind of wrapping his elongated arms around it as if to protect it, because his body morphs. That's his actual ability. That's one of the things that he can do. And he goes, "Don't worry. I'll keep you safe, Tree. It's just me and you now."
And I'm going to go up to Maynard and just kind of like grab him by the collar and pull him away, activating my talent of Careless Whispers.
Okay.
So Harold's popular because he just has this really calming presence and aura to him. And so I think he just being in the vicinity, hey, Maynard, dude, like I don't want to like sink your Cheerios or anything, but it's probably like poison ivy or something, so you don't really want to get like tangled with that. I know that leaves like a really bad like rash and shit, so why don't you just kind of come with me as I'm just dragging him away from
Tell me, does it say you need to make a roll? Is it a clever roll? Because that's a stunt, yes?
No, it's just a talent.
Oh, it's your talent. Okay.
It's my talent, yeah.
So here's what, we still need a roll.
I don't know what that does.
So this is what happens. You can spend a fate point to activate your asset to add a +2 to a roll.
Okay.
So in this case, you could add +2. I'm going to say this is kind of careful. Or I could go with forceful. If I guess you're dragging him.
He is dragging him.
You're dragging him. You did say that. I'll let you take a forceful for this. And if you want to add the bonuses of your aspect, you can just add a +2 when the modifier.
Yeah, let's do that because I want to make sure that we get
everybody out.
Sick, dude. So I add 2 to the extra bonuses. Okay.
Wow. Holy. Okay. That's a lot of successes. A 6. You see Harold kind of go limp, and his arms remain like a stretched out rubber band. They don't really like, yes, they don't really like come back in his body. He seems a bit deflated. As you drag his body through a few inches of water, and he goes, all I wanted was a tree of my own to take care of. And this one, it used to just sing the prettiest songs. He goes, now what's gonna happen to it? As
Dude,
you...
I don't know what's gonna happen to it, my dude, but like, why don't you plant something out by the field? Like, we always need shade out there. Like, we've been telling Coach forever that we need some more shade. So maybe you could just start growing some trees over there and like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, help us out. And then that's like your own thing, right? You're giving back to the school and like, you know, all the other like jocks, man, they're gonna be super thrilled that you helped out with that.
He looks contented with this answer. His arms kind of like back into his body. You're still dragging him. He hasn't given that up yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Dragging him
meanwhile-
through the 2 inches of water.
And we
Meanwhile,
see
Marnie's
Harold...
been
Okay.
trying to like get everybody else out.
Yeah.
Because this is when I'm going to zap the tree once everybody's clear of that water.
So we see as like everybody's got to grab a body or two. These people are relatively packed out. They're kind of they're more in like a concussive daze of some kind. You can see their eyes are opening, but they're not responsive at the moment. And it takes all of you to move these bodies. Harold drags the our Maynard out, leaving Marnie standing alone in the basement, full of a little bit of water. You can see the bush and this portal that it has grown out of from another like dimension or planet, staring back at you. And now that you're alone, it speaks to you, Marnie. You hear a faint whisper, at least you think. And it simply says, come with me. I'll leave this place. You can have so much power.
Yeah, nah.
And what do we see Marnie do?
So, Marnie's eyes light up with spark after spark after spark until they're just solid electric blue. And she just directs every bit of energy she can into this tree and the portal that it's growing from.
I don't know why, but I imagine Marnie wears a big old pair of like combat boots with like
thick
she's
got
rubber
like,
soles.
Plus studded bracelets, necklace,
So
like studs all in her ears.
we
Like you
see
can see electricity arcing from piercing to piercing.
yeah. Okay. The thing is you're still standing in water, but these massive boots, these platform combat boots, keep you up out of the water and have a rubber sole. They're a literally grounding factor for you. And as you stand here in this water, we see the electricity arch from spike to spike, piercing to piercing from out of her eyes, and you blast this plant and portal with electric energy. Now, I'm going to have you roll whatever your best stat is. Now would be a great time to use a stunt if you have anything to make that better. You could also spend a fate point and activate There Ain't No Water, because technically all that water that's not in the pipes is at your feet.
Yeah. I got 4 fate points, so I'm gonna do my zap.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure all the water's in there, and it's all over everything. Everything is just water and metal. And I think that's all I got.
Cool. All right. So,
I also have short out electrical circuits to create small scale power outages. Can I divert the power from the building into this?
Sure. So you're gonna spend
Great.
three fate points.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're almost done here.
I love this. We're gonna spend 3 fate
Burn it
points.
all.
First fate point is gonna give you on after you roll Or actually, the first 2 will give you after you roll a bonus. This other one I'm going to say is going to do the same thing. So let's get the roll first. What is your highest stat?
My highest stat's actually clever.
Yeah, I think this is what this is. I mean, this is you, like, using everything to your advantage. The, like, sparking stuff, the water. It's a clever way to basically, like, overcharge a portal into existence, or out of existence. So, let's get that. We'll get a clever, and then we'll add all of our bonuses.
How many bonuses do I have?
You'll add those after. Just flat roll to start. Mm-hmm. And then,
Cool.
okay, so.
To start.
2 more, so that's a 6 for the first, like, fate point you spent to draw from the power. We see you reach out and just, like, pull it out of the building. Outside, all of you watch the building go dark. Now, the fire on the outside, or the fire in the building, is the only thing lighting it up. Second set of fate points, so we go from 6 to 8. This is the stunt that you had. What is that stunt again? Dude?
It's adds to flashily attacking and creating advantages with electro.
So yeah, I'll say we didn't use flashy, but it doesn't really matter at this point. And then the last one you used was this asset. There ain't no water because all the water's at your feet. There ain't no water in the pipes, and all of this water is a giant conductor. And this plant is sitting in the middle of it. There's water in every vine, everything. And we watch, almost in slow motion, as the electricity protrudes out of every orifice in your body, your hands, every digit, every toe. It lights out. You, of course, remain grounded, but it electrocharges everything. All of you watch the steel doors to the basement slam shut. Now electrocuted. The foundation of this building rattles. And as the electricity finishes kind of exploding outward, so do the windows of this building burst out. In the basement, this bush goes up in blue electric energy. Like the bush, the burning bush story where it's like has no leaves but it burns anyways. It's all blue and lights up from around the ends, and you can hear it cry out. Only you, Marnie. No, please, stop, must, no, don't. As the bush kind of pulls in on itself, and the electricity kind of electrodes the sides of this portal. And it explodes into a black dusting. Marnie, you are knocked backwards out of this room and out of the doors of the basement. Basically just explodes outwards. The massive explosion draws quite a lot of attention from the student body that now stands on the grounds or at the Blazeball field. And up walks the headmistress, just in time for her hair to be fried back, glass to come shattering out, and the entire student dormitory afterwards to go poof and tip to one side as the foundation is no longer structural. And Marnie, you crawl yourself extraordinarily injured. I would say it was not an easy task, tired and fatigued from the basement of this dormitory. And the 5 of you, along with the 5 passed out bodies, have just a minute before the vice principal, or before the headmistress rounds the corner.
That was intense.
You alright?
You all right, Marnie?
It hurt.
Hurt.
No. Yeah. Nothing's broken, right?
Marnie's too metal to admit she's in pain. It's like, yeah.
Breezy, beautiful, clever girl.
Yep.
Hey, we gotta head back to the greenhouse, cause like...
I don't think we'll make it in time.
You could sure
I
try.
might have an idea that it's fine. I can't really walk.
I got you. I'm just gonna scoot Marnie up.
Nice.
Let's go, cause you can't afford to get into trouble anymore. So,
Are we gonna leave the depotted kids here?
yep, they
Okay.
can clean up this mess.
They're laid out, passed out.
And I'm gonna do another magic circle, and I'm gonna make a platform of earth underneath us, and whoosh.
Nice. Okay, I imagine
Fly us
I'm not even
outta
gonna make
here.
you roll for this. You can hear it. It's like slow motion, perfect timing. We cut to the vice principal, who's like, she's like storming around the edge of the building. She looks so angry. You lift the crew up and you skid across the dirt all the way back to the greenhouse. All of you go up and over the hill, down the edge to the greenhouse, just as she rounds the corner, to see 5 passed out students and Maynard, who sits there crying, holding himself. He is shirtless because he used his shirt to try to put his pod friends out, and his farmer's tan shows, and you can hear her voice like raising off in the distance as the 5 of you make it back to the greenhouse just in time. It's only about 2 minutes before she comes up over the hill, and you can hear her going, "I want an explanation for all of this!" The building is burning behind her. The dormitories are lit up. And she says, and she simply comes over and says, "Tell me what happened."
We've been out here digging holes.
Harold
there's a
points
hole.
to the he like quickly has been trying to make other holes.
There's now like a bunch of like 1 foot by 1 foot holes all
Yeah.
over the place, like a gopher. And she says, she kind of looks at you and squints her eyes. She says, "I don't believe you." She says, "You're telling me that the dormitory just caught itself on fire? That this path," and she gestures to the like path all the way to the dormitories, "wasn't you?"
Oh, that looks like a herbology club problem.
Yeah.
Well,
Not-
she kind of thinks,
You
she's
should
like,
get to the root of the problem there.
her eye
Leave
squints.
no stone unturned.
No, headmistress, my granddaughter knows many, many things, but this is not one of them.
She looks at her watch. An alarm goes off. She beats it by like seconds. Fine. Detention's over anyways. She's like, "I'm gonna get to the bottom of all of this. Just you
The
wait."
root of the problem.
Not the root of the problem. The bottom.
Come on, where's your sense of humor?
She goes,
Sometimes her bark is worse than her bite.
Can we leave now?
she says, "I'll leave now. I'm leaving now." And she turns to spin and she says, "I'll see you all next week. I don't know what you did, but I know you did something. Detention for all of you!" And she turns and walks away as the 4 of you stand staring over this big hill, the greenhouse behind you, the burning dormitories to your left. The fire department has shown up now and is trying actively to put that out. You can see that the nurse has been called to check on these students, and Maynard is nowhere to be found. He is off elsewhere, and there's a large amount of the student body that has gathered and is currently dancing on the Blazeball field. A party was promised. And we see the camera. Oh, you know what? I want to do 2 things. Marnie. That was a very big electrical explosion. You now have permanent tattooing on both of your arms. The veins in your arms are now burned like electricity, and it looks a little like a tree.
That's super freaking cool, though.
So
I know.
cool.
I know. Unfortunately, it does come with a little bit of a maybe downer, which is that you're a little connected, that electricity, your mind, to an ancient one, or a false idol, others would call it. Sometimes it speaks to you in your sleep, begging you to go plant a tree. But it's not you that we see planting a tree. It's the 5 of you finish up your detention, dirty, sooty, wet, shovels in hand. It's Maynard. Something that Harold said really spoke to him. Plant a tree, he said. And we see Maynard and 3 girls, pod people, some might call them, off on the far back end of the Blazeball field. We watch as Maynard reaches down his throat and pulls out a seed he's been hanging on to. He kind of holds it up in the air, and you watch as he draws in the dirt an eldritch circle, and he plants the seed and covers it up, and he looks to the girls and he says, "Don't you worry now. We're going to have a no tree in no time." And that's where we end today's game, because we're out of time.
Stupid, sexy Maynard.
Stupid, sexy Maynard. Why has he got to be so stupid and sexy? Nicely done, gang. That was a lot of fun. A little Sunday detention never hurt anybody. Let's go around. You guys tell us who you are, where we can find you when you're not playing games here on on Sunday Fundays. And what I'm sure you're all busy doing some stuff, so let's hear about it. And then I'll do some very quick announcements, say some thank yous, and we will get out of here to give you all back your Sundays. Let's go. I'm just gonna go bottom left. We'll do the same way. So, Party Web Games.
Hello, I'm Rin of Party Wipe Games. You can catch me over on my own channel, Party Wipe Games, most days of the week. Tonight at 8:30, we will be hopefully finishing Curse of Strahd. Mondays, I run my own homebrew game. Tuesdays, we play Vampire the Masquerade. Wednesdays is currently open because my stint on Encounter Roleplay is finished. We played Cult Divinity Lost there, where I played a character, one of my reoccurring OCs named Rindis, was the only survivor of the Cult game. So happy to say that I won a tabletop RPG. Thursdays, we play Scum and Villainy. Fridays, It will be Rime of the Frostmaiden. Saturdays, we play Dragon Heist. A lot of stuff to go and more on the table to come. Hopefully there will be a Tales from the Loop game and potentially another game on Encounter Roleplay that will be a Viking Valhalla themed game working towards fighting in Ragnarok, but haven't heard back from the casting call on that. And there may also be a potential another cult game from Helmgast as well. So hoping to hear back from Free League and Helmgast for more things, and hopefully more games with you guys in the future as well, because this is fun.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad to see you actually, here and not just in chat. So thank you. One, for all the support and always showing up to watch the shows, and two, for being here today and sharing your Sunday with us. So thank you.
Thank you. It was so fun.
What about you, Catherine?
Right, my name's Catherine Barsonistas. I run the nerdy food blog, The Gluttonous Geek, and I also have a try to do weekly cooking show on Twitch called Munchies and Minis, where I make recipes inspired by various tabletop role-playing games. The next episode, once my dishwasher gets fixed, will be inspired by the Forgotten Realms series with Baldur's Gate, Helm and Cloak stuffed Cornish game hens. So that's going to be the next recipe.
That's
coming.
Good.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty darn tasty. But yeah, coming up this Friday, October 2nd, I will be on Slady's Atlanta's charity stream from 4 p.m. to, I think, 8 p.m. Eastern, playing D&D. And that's all I can think of right now as far as upcoming games. So hope to see y'all on there.
I've no doubt. The Slady's, we had Nikki with us last week for something, which I'll talk about here in a second. So, y'all hear that? Atlanta's killing it. Go watch those ladies slay. Go.
Mm-hmm.
Who was next on my screen? Origami Shuriken. Hey, Alyssa, how are you?
I am great. My name is Alyssa. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Origami Shuriken. And if all goes according to plan, you can find me in about 3 hours from now at 7 p.m. Eastern, running a Dark Matter 5e Ghosts of Saltma campaign on twitch.tv/otherdoc, in which the party is about to, or they have recently boarded a stranded ship in space. Piloted by a rogue robot, so...
Hey, we've a lot of robots on this channel today.
Is that a rogue bot?
A rogue bot.
Yeah.
Grace, did you have fun on Sunday Funday? You did? She had fun. Thank you. Go check that out. Yeah, go right. Can't you tell? She always looks so happy.
She's got
She
the
had-
best eyebrows ever.
She had so much fun today,
Such
can't
a
you
pretty
tell?
kitty.
Awesome. Thank you, Alyssa, and definitely go check that out. I've been meaning to check out more Dark Matter stuff. With all the sci-fi I play, I've not actually played Dark Matter yet, so definitely get go check that out. All you sci-fi fans. Speaking of sci-fi fan, hey Gnome, where can we find you when you're not here or playing Blazeball?
Or playing Blazeball. Well, that Blazeball is Eternal Ghost Splorts. Hi, I'm Gnome. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Nomadic, and I don't know what I'm up to, honestly. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, you can catch Eris and I in the mornings on Gnome Brew over on my Twitch channel, where we just have a cup of coffee and wake the fuck up with all of you, and it's a joy, and I love it much. What else? Do we got other stuff going on? I don't think I have technically any other stuff going on right now. Go check out Void, though, if you like space. We have a Coriolis game that's coming back for the third season in January with Little Red Dot as the GM. Still. She's still there, y'all. We She's
can't get
still
rid
there.
of her.
We wouldn't
trying.
want
Can't get rid of
to.
her.
She's still there. You can't get rid of her.
We
Yeah.
would want to. Really.
Aw, thanks,
Not
Eris.
anybody I
Right.
know.
Mm-mm. We're gonna keep it forever.
Oh God. Can I quit now? I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah.
For the record, you cut it off, but I love you so much. I have trust in Dot
Aw.
written right above my shoulder at all
I
times.
told her that was a bad motto to live by, and she just won't believe me.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Speaking of other people in our Void campaign, Eris, what about you? What you doing?
Hi, I'm Eris Savad. You can find me on Twitter at Stitched by Eris, which, as a warning, Gnome also has access to that account, so it might not be me tweeting from there. I make stuff. You can find stuff I make at erisavad.com. If you use the code .army, you can actually save 10% because I freaking love Dot, and you know, you're here. So, I mean, if you're cool with Dot, you're cool with me. So, you know, you get a little discount. You can find me on Tuesdays where I'm rewatching Void because that's not strange. It's fine. I call it Captain's Chair. It's at 9 a.m. Eastern on my channel, twitch.tv/erisavad. And I think that's it for now.
That's the stuff. Go check all this out. World is kind of crazy right now, and the least we can do is support each other. So go out, check out somebody else's content this week that you've never seen before. Why? Well, because it's a good thing to do. And who knows, you might find something you actually enjoy. What a concept. I'm Little Red Dot. This is a Twitch channel I started where I roll dice and tell stories with people that I adore, like all of you. And Sunday Fundays, just like today, is a day for the community to get to come together and game with each other. So I'm excited to say that this was the first time we've ever had another GM other than myself on Sunday Funday, and I thought PH did just such a fantastic job. We've got another GM next month, one that we'll be making that announcement soon, but you can always check out the Discord one if you want more information on that. I would type Discord, but I have a cat on one arm. You can come check out our Discord. Come join us. We've got places to chat, to stay up on all the games that are being run here, all the games that I'm involved in, and all of these people, I'm pretty sure, are in the Discord in some way, shape, or form, or at least have been for a little bit. So there's also a Sunday Funday channel if you just want to come, like, decompress after today's two great games. You can come and do that, and more importantly, you can sign up for a Sunday Funday. What? I know! It always goes to my Patreon first, so if you want first access to sign-ups, it's there. That includes both as a GM or as a player. I always ask that you play first, though, before you sign up to GM. Be a player first. Come laugh with us, come get the vibe, and then we'll give you, hopefully, a spot to do that. But
If you do that, you can have me in your DMs.
That's true. You'll be talking to Eris, who's helping me manage Sunday Fundays right now, as they have kind of just grown and expanded into something people really love, which means a lot to me. And I look forward to the monthly Sunday Fundays. But there are a couple other things that are going on here on the channel right now. I want to say a huge thank you to Fulton County Arts and Culture. That's the county that I live in here and in the Atlanta area. They have funded the channel through the end of 2020 to put some shows up. One of which we've already started called the Novella series, which is a partnership I'm doing with North by Northwest, a podcast I've been involved in for a long time. You probably heard some of these folks on. You may have even met it at NXNQ meetup at some point. We are running a series of one-shots that are being turned into a micro series of podcasts, and we had the opportunity to get to play first ever publicly Good Strong Hands, which is Nurburger Craig's new game. It is out on Kickstarter right now. You should check it out. That show, if you want to learn a little bit more about the game before you support it, is now available on the YouTube. That 3-part mini-series that we did is available for you to go and check out. More importantly, when we're done here, we're going to go raid Nurburger Craig. He's playing Good Strong Hands over on Roll For It, my home away from home, where you can find me on Saturdays playing Vampire. If that's not enough Vampire for you, you can check out a new podcast I've been producing with some friends called Stitch of Fate. It is a dark murder mystery podcast using Vampire the Masquerade and beautifully edited by our very own Gnome right here. Just is killing it, y'all. Killing it. Was it earlier today? Oh, I missed it. Oh, thanks, Party White, for letting me know. I thought they were over there now playing.
Yeah, they're doing the 40K one now.
Well, we're gonna go raid them anyways, because
they're live.
It looks like they're
live,
still
just not
live.
strong
they're still
hands.
live. It's just not Good Strong Hands. Well, you can still check it out because they did play it this morning. You were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so still
it
go
was a
check
good
that
game. It
out.
was a good game.
Yeah, go check it out. Go get your. Actually, I believe we have a Good Strong Hands. I think. Boom! It's technically already launched, but that'll take you to the Kickstarter, so you can check that out. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. I know if you're finding me a bit MIA from the channel, I've had to cut my evening series because things have gotten a little crazy. But I'm hoping to start bringing back my morning show in the next couple weeks, as I'm waiting on a possible big announcement that I can't spoil yet, but it would be an exciting new thing. You'd see me somewhere else quite a lot if this works out. So I should know a little bit more hopefully after tomorrow. But there's lots of places you can catch me. There's lots of places that you can catch these amazing people. But I remind you, as we close out our Sunday Funday, thank you first for the laughs and the joy and sharing it with me. And please, register to vote. Go vote. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. And remember to be excellent to each other. Everybody, please be excellent to one another. Go enjoy your Sunday, and I will see each of you at some point in the nearest of futures. Have the best Sunday, everybody. Oh, and we're going to raid. Don't let me forget that. Bye.
Don't forget to raid.